speed ahead.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to our extra special episode.
This is called. Do you forget the name of the podcast? The
Real close up. Yes. I suppose I should start with the title, huh?
Yeah. You look a little different today.
I look a little. What are you talking about? This is how I normally dress.
So what is it? What is it we're doing? Do you want to talk about it now? Now, Sean has introduced me to something I knew absolutely nothing about until he showed me this. And so I went along with it, and I'm still learning a little bit about it because I was introduced and I took it all in and formed my own opinions about it as I was watching it. Do you want to tell them what it is?
Yeah. So, we checked out a little something called Epic the Musical. Let me take these off so you can actually see my eyeballs.
Did you want to say who you're?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get into that.
Oh, you have a hair on you.
Thank you. So, Epic the Musical, for anyone that has not heard of it, the best way to describe it is it's a musical adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey. Two, A and two. That's why I went two. I just realized inconsistency. B, it is a concept musical that came about through TikTok, actually. So the creator essentially promoted and auditioned people through TikTok and has been releasing it through that and YouTube. So it is a big community musical, and it's not an official musical that you'd see on Broadway or on stage. It's all digital, all through social media.
Aren't they talking about wanting to get it onto Broadway? Wasn't that something that was talked
People
about?
have talked about that. I don't know if the creator has any intention of doing that or not. He's talked about moving on to other projects after this is over.
Okay.
But even if they don't, it's still like an amazing project.
It kind of blew up, right?
It's blown up. Like the TikTok community is huge on it.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, he held he being Jorge Rivera Herranz. That's the creator of Epic. He held auditions through TikTok, or I don't know if it was through TikTok or had open auditions saying, "Hey, come and audition with me." So it's very different than normal audition processes in musicals and movies and all that.
Yeah.
Now, through this, we're going to be showing you guys a lot of the animatics, which is different artists draw and animate these songs. So what you're seeing is independent artists drawing or creating their interpretation of the songs.
And there were many different versions.
There was
right?
a lot. There's so many
Different
artists that do
versions
different
of
versions.
Each song.
Yeah, but if you notice, a lot of them get inspiration from other artists.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I could definitely see that. But I know, so what it is like, is telling a story through each song.
Right.
So each song is a progression to the story, and each song has its own animation and vibe to it.
Yeah, very different.
What I've
types.
noticed.
What I like about this in particular, it kind of reminds me of Hamilton in this way. Yeah. It does have some Hamilton inspiration.
I can tell. I can tell. I was telling you that when we were listening to the music, there's certain songs that I'm like, okay, this is definitely inspired by Hamilton.
Yeah. It really takes it in a different direction for musicals. That being, not every song sounds like a musical. Some songs are more based in like different genres, like hip hop, rock.
Poppy
anthem music,
poppy.
It's very different vibes for each and every song, and I love that.
Some of the songs sound very show-tuney.
Yes,
that's a word. Show-tuney. Show-tuney, not show-tuna, not show-tuna. Show-tuney.
I think that's.
So you want to?
Yeah.
Do some shout outs?
Yeah, so let's do some shout outs. First of all, we have Jorge Rivera Herranz, the creator and the voice of Odysseus.
Right.
Very
he wrote the music and everything, right?
He wrote most of it, at least. I think he wrote most, if not all of it.
And he was Odysseus.
He's the main character and some of the other characters. We have Armando Julian as Eurylochus, Stephen Dookie as Polites, Tegan Early as Athena, Luke Holt as Zeus, Steven Rodriguez as Poseidon, Talia Cinder as Circe. I apologize if I butcher any of these names.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, are you sure?
I'm not sure about any of these names, but
Oh
hey.
no, they're gonna come for you.
I know. Troy Doherty as Hermes, who
Doherty. Let me see.
Doherty.
Let me see how. Yeah, Doherty.
Troy Doherty, who is who I'm cosplaying. I'm cosplaying.
You don't know your own damn name.
Both kind of the character of Hermes and the singer, because he dresses like this apparently.
So it's just like
and
you
then
stole his clothes.
and then lastly we have Miguel Veloso as Telemachus and Barbara. I'm gonna butcher this name. Wangui or Wangu as Calypso.
I have a feeling that Wangui is not it. You're
Probably
terrible.
not. I know.
Just come for him, guys.
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, like,
I'm ready.
I'm talking about the people. These people.
Now, before we get into it,
So yes, Sean Juhawson.
the name's Bubble Swoon. That's an inside joke.
Bubbles Swoon. No, God, I feel like you're gonna have to explain Bubbles Swoon.
Let's just say someone with a very thick accent called me Swoon.
Instead of Sean.
Swoon.
Did they?
So,
they saw
this
your
is
name
karma.
tag, right?
Yeah.
This is when he was working. They saw his name tag SEAN, and they call him Swoon. And why? And he was wearing a sweater,
bubble sweater,
a sweater that looked like it had bubbles on it. Called Bubble Swoon.
It's such a we
It's
went
so
off
stupid.
on a different tangent there, but I had to explain.
Well, you had to. You brought it up. People just think you're nuts. Although
so,
they still do.
Two things I have to say before we get into it. One, keep in mind that each character, or at least all the main characters, have an instrument that represents them.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll notice whenever a certain character is singing, or whenever a character has more sway in a situation, typically their instrument swag, yes. Their instrument will be in the forefront.
Right.
And it's interesting to pick apart, like, oh, this character has this instrument, and I'll bring that up.
Kazoo.
Yeah, because I don't know if there's any kazoos.
No,
but,
there's not.
And then
that would be you.
And also keep in mind, only gods can summon choirs.
Right.
So
choirs.
Whenever you're hearing a choir, if it's humans or mortals talking, it's probably real people. If it's a god talking, they're probably summoning a choir.
Oh, I'm talking. Whoa. Wow, that's amazing.
I need to go. Ooh. Oh boy,
it works.
I gotta get out of here.
What was that accent?
I gotta get
out of here.
I gotta get.
I'm no longer Odysseus. I gotta get out of here.
Funny enough, there's no country music in this.
No, as why would there be?
They did a lot of others, so why not?
No, but like, is it a western? I don't think so.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Anyway, let's start off. Now, this is broken up into several sagas, or
how many sagas are there exactly?
There
Sean
is
2,
3, 4,
5. Is it
5, 6?
Wow, you're counting.
8.
8
and one more to come.
Let's get on it, because it's that's a lot of sagas.
Right.
So there's all these sagas, and within the sagas, they have the different songs that's related to that part of the story.
Think of it as an album.
Each or like acts. Yeah. Like in a play.
Right.
Something like that. Right.
So we're going to start out with the Troy saga. So we're kind of going in from the Iliad into the Odyssey. And we're going to start out with The Horse and the Infant, the first song.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, the animation.
This was the first one I saw. So it took me a while, guys, to like adjust what it was about, because I never had seen anything like this. This format and the way it's presented. So when it was first presented to me, it took me a while to figure out how they were telling the story, and like, because I just saw a song starting to play and say, wait, what is this? Explain this to me, because I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
So this was like I was starting to adjust into it and get used to the format.
Right. Now, for each song, I want to mention the animator for the animation.
Yes, okay.
This one was done by Gigi, which kind of is one of the more prolific animators in this community. Certainly, probably the one I have more animations of than anyone on this list. So we start out with this. No pun intended, this epic, almost, how do I explain it? Like musical beat, You know, it sounds like more of a classic
It
musical to
does.
begin.
It does. It sounded more like a show tune, like
Yeah.
theatrical for
And
sure.
and the first song is more like that. It starts a little more show tuney, then it
Yes.
branches off.
Yes.
But this one has more of an epic a vibe to it. You know, like
Right.
something about like the anticipation of something to come, a battle, a war, which they're in the midst.
Raising a baby.
Oh no. Uh, we'll get into that in a minute.
It's called The Horse and the Infant.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, we got this great beat just to bop to.
Kids Bop 12.
Kids.
Odysseus Bop.
We start out in the classic wooden horse. They're preparing for
Yes.
battle, and
like
in this part we have Zeus come in, and this is the first time where we see a god summon a choir. You know, the background choir and all that.
Ah, we just heard that
And-
a while ago. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And Zeus gives him an ultimatum: "Hey, kill this child if you want your son and wife to live."
You don't end him now, you'll have no one left to save. You can say goodbye to. You can say goodbye to. I could raise him as my own. Your house and throne. You'll find him wherever you go. The gods will make him known. We're bringing you down on my knees for you. Oh, this is the will of the gods.
He's gonna grow up and he's gonna kill you out of vengeance. This was
Mhm.
the son of Hector
What
that
a
he's supposed
what
to
a
kill.
burden.
Yeah. So he's given that choice,
Right,
and this
right.
whole song's about like
Yeah.
his conflict with, oh, I can't kill an infant, but I need to protect my son and wife, you know. And
Right.
I do think that the songs do a great job of kind of showing conflict of the characters both internally and externally.
The
That makes
song
sense?
itself. Aside from the animation,
Yes,
you mean?
the song itself. They do a great job of, you could feel the tugging inside of his mind, you know.
And I think I told this. I told you this. Something I noticed when watching this. I was watching it very objectively. Like you are big into Greek mythology and all that,
Yeah.
so I was looking at everything objectively: the music, the animation, just the premise of the whole story, and everything. And I've noticed that some of the songs are very powerful and they just stand alone. Like,
Right.
you know, like they tell a story and you could see it in your mind. And sometimes the animation I felt like didn't live up to the song or the story. And other times I felt like the animation added to
Mhm.
the song. And so it just depended because it's all different animators, different versions of I guess everybody has their different versions of how they see this.
Right.
So, and we just focused on one version basically of the animation for each one because
Yeah.
there's other. But
Oh,
we
there's
only-
multiple
we
animations for
only-
each song.
We only,
yeah.
we for each song we only focus on the one.
Right.
Right.
And of course, especially in the first saga, the Troy saga, the animations start off a little bit.
It's a little
jankier.
rough.
It's a little rough because
It's,
this is when it's just starting, so a lot of the
mhm.
animators are just
It's a little elementary.
Yeah, it does
Um,
improve a lot.
It
over
does,
the
and
course
some
of
of
the-
them are really good. Some
Yeah.
of them are good. Some of them are like they add life to the songs.
Yeah, and I mean,
Um,
Gigi, this
Mhm.
one that does this song, like even this song, she starts out very like it's very rough,
Simple, yeah.
sketched,
Yeah.
you know, and all that.
Yeah.
But then it improves so much, and you
Yeah.
see that, like, some amazing
right.
work from
And
this
so
artist.
this song to me, I mean, I'm just saying the song itself, like I said, very show teeny, theatrical.
Mhm.
It was a good song though.
Yeah, and it introduces.
I did like the song. So
It's a good song. A lot of the songs are just
they are. Some
real
stood out.
boppers.
Some
Yeah.
really stood out more than
Um,
others to me.
And this is where we're introduced to Odysseus' whole goal, which is the same in the Odyssey: get home to his son and wife, because he's been away for 10 years.
I
during war.
read the Odyssey when I was
a wee lass.
I was really young, and I don't remember the specifics of it. I just don't.
And that's the thing.
And I wasn't into the Greek mythology like you are, so it's not
Right.
like I was seeking that out or even cared to like hold that memory.
and the
you
interesting
know,
thing is this musical kind of it follows the events of the Odyssey, but very loosely. In
Right,
that
right. Oh, yeah.
they make
Oh,
their
yeah.
own story out of it. They
Of
change things
course,
around.
like Hamilton or
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly. So it's different
Yeah.
than it's not your
Mhm.
mama's Odyssey. Let's just put
They
it that
took
way.
liberties and they did their own thing.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Mhm.
So let's move on. I'm gonna try
Yeah,
to get
let's
through the
move
songs
on.
as quick as possible because there's a lot.
Yes.
Next we have Just a Man, also by
Just
Gigi.
a Man. Sounds like some of these songs, like the titles. I was telling him they have their own like vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Now this one we start off with
Oh, I
some light
remember this.
harps, a
I remember this.
lullaby, and notice whenever there's like light harps and stuff, it usually signifies innocence in this.
So the whole time I heard this song, all I could think of was Josh Groban, the vocals of Mr. Josh Groban. It was very Groban-y. It was. It was very, very Groban-y.
Mhm.
And I wonder if they took inspiration from that because I mean you were saying there's
he
inspiration.
took inspiration from a lot of different
Yeah.
sources. I know that.
So I felt like this animation. I'm just going to tell you my,
yeah, it was the same animator.
from my first impression of this thing.
Mhm.
The animation was basic. The thing it distracted me was it just looked like instead of animation, it looked like a series of drawings
Stop
stuck
motion or not
together.
stop motion, but
Or
like
yeah, like
yeah.
just one drawing after the like
right, which is
yeah.
kind of the very
Mhm.
basis of animation, but like
right,
without
like
the-
they didn't really do animation. It was just a bunch of pictures thrown together, kind of thing, and that's what it felt like. And it was yeah, it just didn't live up to what I had like in my mind. I was
Yeah.
telling him sometimes with these basic animations, what was playing in my mind and what I was imagining far surpassed what I was looking at, and that was a little distracting.
right.
And I noticed, some of them were like that.
Exactly.
Everybody was worrying about the baby becoming a monster, as a lot of babies do.
Yeah. It's like, well, this
So-
child could grow up to become a monster, so might as well kill him.
But when does a comet become a meteor? When does a candle become a blaze? When does a man become a monster? When does a ripple become a tidal wave? When does the reason become the blame? When does a man become a monster?
Which Odysseus reluctantly threw the infant off a wall and killed it.
Aw. And you just love him still, don't you?
Hey, it was either that or let his wife and son die. So,
What would you do, guys? What would you do? What was it? Wait. What would you do? WWYD.
what would
What
Odysseus
would
do?
you
Uh,
do?
No, but also this song
Yeah,
is
what
where
would
we're
Odysseus
we're
do?
introduced to the main theme of this entire musical, which
Mhm.
is
Morality.
morality. At what point does a man become a monster for
It's
all the
always like
things he's
choices.
done?
People are making choices.
Yes.
This whole thing is about like facing your demons and like which path do I take? And taking one path is just like
Right.
it will completely change the entire story.
And it's always a choice between ruthlessness and mercy, and that's a theme that you get a lot in this.
in
You'll-
morality, like
yeah.
dark or light. There's
Mhm.
definitely a battle between the dark and the light.
Yeah, and the
throughout
and
the
the
whole
question
thing.
of if someone makes a dark choice, does that make them a monster, or are they the sum
Right.
of their choices?
Yeah.
Or
And a
is
lot
it
of
more
times
complicated?
it
than
is a lot. I mean, this is getting deep. No, but I'm saying like a lot of times, even like I think that's what makes stories and characters interesting is that not everything is black and white.
Exactly.
Like there is a lot of gray in a story, and in reality, that I feel like it's really like that. I mean, you can't not everything is black and white. Not everybody's all good or bad.
And that's why I love this.
You juggle that, and you know.
Yeah, I love this musical and the character of Odysseus because it's like he makes so many mistakes, and
He does. He does
but
make
you
a
still
lot of
like
mistakes.
him. It's just more
Or
compelling.
you like him. Maybe not everybody does, but
Well,
yeah.
Now you said now everything's black and white, but in this next animatic it is.
Oh, it is. It's very much.
uh,
oh, I didn't write much about this one. The Full
yeah,
Speed Ahead.
Full Speed Ahead is the next song. Now
Full
this one
Speed
is by
Ahead.
Wolfie the Witch. This one is more of a black and white sketch drawing.
Yeah,
A lot simpler.
it was
but
very show-tuney, this
yes,
song.
not even just show tuney, but it was almost like an ancient sea shanty is how I describe it.
I did not like this animation. I'm very sorry.
Mm.
But I wasn't a fond of this animation. They didn't have like there was a lot of it felt like it was missing, like it was so they did focus, and I understand sometimes, but they did focus on the main characters, and every other character they didn't have faces, and it was again just kind of very basic.
And actually, this is another animator that really improves over time.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of them do. Yeah, for sure.
That's the fun part. You really see not just
the progression,
not just Jorge with his musical abilities grow, but the animators grow too. Like everyone's growing and helping each other. It's actually really cool.
Yeah,
that's why I love this community. Mm-hmm. You get this like sea shanty. It's a very hopeful tone. Very promising. Like he's like, oh, I'm coming home.
600 men, 600 miles of open sea. But the problem's not the distance, it's what lies in between. And did they cause waiting? My kingdom is waiting. Penelope's waiting for me. So force me to
very positive compared to the last song, which was like this mournful, sorrowful, like, oh, I'm about to kill a child. I didn't know how else to say it.
I'm about to kill a child.
Also, we are introduced to the best boy, Polites, one of my favorite characters, a little golden retriever boy, basically. It's true. He's such a little ray of sunshine, But that might not last long.
Foreshadow.
Now, I don't think there's much I need to say about that one.
No, I was pretty basic. I feel like some just have more to say than others, and
Oh, and we're also introduced to Eurylochus, his second in command, more the voice of reason.
Sounds like a drug.
Eurylochus?
Side effects of Eurylochus could be bloody diarrhea.
I feel like a lot of
bleeding from the ears.
A lot of ancient Greek names
headaches.
Sounded like drugs or like diseases.
Eurylochus.
Sisyphus sounds like
don't take Eurylochus if you have heart palpitations and a wart on your nose.
Next up is Open Arms.
Journey.
Yes, a Journey is Open Arms.
To you, open arms.
Okay.
Don't do what your love means to me. Open arms.
The animator,
wasn't anything like the Journey song. It was very cheerful.
It was very cheerful because
it's a cheerful song.
It was a Polites song. Polites is cheerful.
Polycheese.
Polycheese.
Sounds nasty.
Are you a polycheesist?
I don't want polycheese. It sounds like it's moldy.
Oh, by the way, this animation is by I might pronounce this wrong. Mircea.
Mercy?
Mircse. Mircea.
Mircse.
Mircea, I guess.
It sounds. That's the name of the person?
That's the name of the. Well, okay. I should preface. These are names of like the channels, the YouTube channels.
Okay, but that sounds a little Greek. That's funny. That sounds like it could be a Greek name.
It could be.
I wonder.
Yeah, Polites is singing to Odysseus in this one.
It's very cheerful, and my notes say the beat drops. The beat drops.
Yeah, because we get this like poppy, almost like tropical house vibe.
Sounds very playful.
Very playful.
As a bass beat.
Yeah.
You could like dance to.
And Polites is just like, don't worry, man. Let it all go. Just greet the world with open arms, and then beat drops.
Open arms.
Life is amazing when you greet it with open arms. Whatever we face, we'll be fine if we're leading from the heart. No matter the place, we can light up the world. Here's how to start. Greet the world with open arms. Greet the world with open arms. Stay back. My friend, greet the world with open arms.
And was this song, because I have questions about these songs, because you know about this. Was this one of the more popular songs? That's what I wonder.
It was in the early sagas, specifically the first one. I'm not as familiar with which songs were the most popular
Okay.
because it was very early on.
Okay.
I know that a lot of people do like
I'm gonna ask you
Polities
that
and
with
this
each
song.
saga.
Yeah.
Like what
What
was
the most
hits?
populars were. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll also tell you
Is
my
it?
favorites.
I'm gonna too. Me too.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to know if I align with what the favorite is.
Right.
Because I usually don't.
Yeah. This one
I
I'm not
don't.
100% sure on
So
for the
I
saga,
do want to
but
say about the animation
Mhm.
from my little point of view, not knowing much. It was more detailed than
Mhm.
the ones before.
It was a really
I did
good
like it
animation.
more, and the transitions were much more interesting to me. Like it held my attention
Yeah,
more
the
than
details of the characters and their
than the
faces
last
were
one.
nice.
Yeah, I did. I
The
did think it was an improvement for
the
sure.
tone shifts, like when the beat drops, the colors and tones shift to match it. It was really well done when they meet the Lotus Eaters, which is the island they're on, Island of Lotus Eaters. Um, and yeah, just the little details like that really make it
Yeah.
feel like it matches the music well, and actually um, props it up rather than falling behind the music, like you were saying.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, I it's distracting when they don't match, and yeah,
Mhm.
for sure, it takes you out of the story.
Right.
So the next
Um,
one, if we're done
yes.
with that
Yeah.
one, the next one's called Warrior of the Mind.
And this is also by Mirsi. I'm just gonna say Mirsi.
I wrote down Powerhouse Music.
I was gonna say that I actually
really?
think wrote down the same thing. Powerhouse.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I wrote down Powerhouse.
You wrote down Powerhouse
Yes.
Music. That is weird.
Yeah. I also
so that can
I
be
also
a
wrote
guarantee,
down it sounds like an anthem. Like, like
okay?
anthem music.
Yeah, I okay.
Oh, I forgot to mention Odysseus. His instrument is a guitar.
Ooh,
That's
yeah,
a very
yeah, yeah.
completely
Get
forgot
on
that.
it,
I
Sean.
know.
Come on.
I remember that because I saw another character's instrument here, Athena, who is a piano. That's her.
That makes
instrument.
sense to me. That
Yeah.
one definitely makes sense.
Mhm.
So this is interesting. The animation on this, I told you this. Okay? Do you guys? I don't know what it's called, but have you ever seen, like as a kid, the black paper that you're it's like waxy paper,
Yeah,
and you scratch it off, and it has colors underneath, and
Mhm.
you draw a picture on it.
I forget what this is called.
That was that. This animation reminded
Only
me
in
of
the
that.
very beginning, then.
Yes,
or
in the
though.
beginning, that's what it reminded me
And
of.
then
I'm
it
like, oh, it's
shifted.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called.
If
If I find out, we'll put it right down below so you can.
also
What it's called?
the singer, Athena's singer. What a powerhouse of a singer!
Yeah, she was a
Holy
very good
shit.
singer. She was a very good singer.
Like, don't get me wrong, the others have been great too.
No, but they stood out. The vocals on this one
Yes.
stood out to me for sure.
There's some singers in this
The
that
animation.
really just bring it.
The animation,
Which is funny because this was actually the same animator as the last one. But
And you know
didn't
what,
like it as
though?
much.
I didn't like this one as much.
Mhm.
The black background part was the most interesting
Yeah.
part to me.
Uh,
The black background, the
al-
little
als-
scratching color. I don't
also,
know
I
what's called
love-
scratching color, but I'm gonna call it scratching color.
I love in this song. A lot of these songs are like this, to where it's the male-female duet, and those tend to be some of my favorites because you have Odysseus and Athena singing together, and it's that dynamic, the male-female voice, high and low.
Maybe one day they'll follow me and we'll make a greater tomorrow. Then they'll see I know we'll change the world, 'cause we are the warriors of the mind. Maybe one day we'll reach them and we can build their skills as we teach them. If there's a problem, we'll have the answer. We are the warriors of the mind.
Always enjoy that.
Like Endless Love
Yeah,
by Lionel Richie and Diana Ross.
That's a very specific choice, but yes.
Yeah.
Also, Athena is my kind of woman. I wrote that down.
I don't know if anybody's my kind of woman or man in this, but okay. I didn't think about them that way, Sean. Jeez.
I know. Okay, next
Ooh,
saga.
Saga.
We
New
are
saga.
on the Cyclops saga.
The Cyclops saga.
I don't know if
Everybody knows what the Cyclops is.
everyone's heard of the Cyclops,
Sure,
I'm sure. And
sure.
even if you don't know the Odyssey, I'm sure most people know about the Cyclops in
of
the
course.
Odyssey. Yeah.
Yes.
It
And what was the first one?
the first song is called Polyphemus, which is the name of
Polyphemus.
the Cyclops.
Yes. There's a
Mhm.
name.
It also sounds like like a STD.
They all sound
or
like
a
either a
drug or
drug or
something.
a disease. Yeah, they really do. So
this one is also by Mercy. You're going to be seeing a lot of Mercy.
So
Mercy.
I just want to say shout out to the animation
Oh.
in this. So it was mostly
Phenomenal.
like the tone of it was very. I mean, they captured the tone
Mhm.
and it was all in like red and black. The
Yeah.
animation was all red and black. And
Right.
it's almost like its own character. That's
Yeah.
how I felt.
Exactly.
It was a character of its own. It definitely had a dark tone. The song had a dark
Very
tone.
ominous and gritty. Yeah.
And it was a very interesting twist on the Cyclops. I
Mhm.
thought the Cyclops monster was very creative and different.
To drink your blood over where you stand. Your life now is in my hand. Before I'm done, you will learn that it's not so fun to take. You came to my home to steal, but now you become my meal. A trade you see, take from you like you took from me.
There's been a misunderstanding. We never came here to steal.
Because it wasn't
Mhm.
just like the classic big
Yeah.
one-eyed Cyclops. It
Right.
it looked more like an eldritch horror almost, something alien and
It
undescribable.
did. It did.
And I loved that interpretation because it brought something unique to the song.
Yeah.
It almost made it more terrifying because it's like everyone's seen the Cyclops, but no one's seen this Cyclops.
Yeah.
And it made it
was
more-
unique. It was unique. It was
it-
creative.
Yeah, it felt
And,
more threatening.
I also like the transition in the music from one character to the other. That was really
Yes.
dynamic, and
Mhm.
I really,
Yeah, they
appreciated
had
that.
good,
especially the Cyclops.
yes.
Mhm.
Also, the Cyclops is voiced by Jorge, singer of Odysseus.
Oh, is it?
But it's heavily synthesized and lowered
Yes,
to make it
it's
sound
like,
monstrous.
I can't
It's,
do
I can't do it
it's
either.
a-
It sounds like this.
like this, but it's
Wait.
synthesized.
It doesn't sound anything like either of us.
Ooh,
But
oh God, I'm not gonna like
and
to
we
hear that
also
back.
see the.
I am not gonna want to hear that back.
Oh, God. We also see the real first display of Odysseus's like sly, tricky nature, tricking the Cyclops into drinking this drugged
It's very
wine.
slicky, sly. Odyssey,
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Get you some Odyssey.
Odyssey. Get us some Odyssey. That's gonna be like slang. And go down and get some Odyssey.
Oh no, I hate that. Next song. Next
You don't
song
even know what it
is Survive.
Survive. I will survive as long as why are they repeating like song titles here?
I mean, if it works,
Come
it works. This animation is also by Mercy.
Red and black again.
Red
by
and
the
black,
way.
same theme, color tone.
This
amazing.
song had a very epic sound.
it
No, it did. It had an epic
Oh, yeah.
sound to it. This song is it was very strong. It
was basically like
It
a battle
was-
cry given into
yeah.
a song. You know,
That is who we're fighting. No backup, no chance for support. So draw out your sword. Our foe must be thwarted right here and now. Show me how great is your will to survive. 600 lives at stake. It's just one life to take. And when we kill him, then our journey's over.
it was, well, I literally wrote well, I can't talk today. I wrote war cry song, war drums, pumps you up, truly epic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, something that stood out. I have to mention this because I thought it was very creative. In the animation, the eyes of the characters. Okay, so the
yes.
eyes are shown as just pure light, white, like light, right?
Like, they're the main lights of the scene.
Yeah, the only light in the entire scene is through the eyes of the characters, right? And then the light is lost in the eyes of the Cyclops. In the eyes light the light
I know what you're trying to say.
the light is lost in their eyes as the Cyclops goes into a killing spree.
And the Cyclops in particular kills first.
So basically,
dear
that's
beloved-
that's the interpretation of taking the life away is
Yeah.
taking the light out of
all,
the eyes.
all the hope, everything is taken
It was
from you.
it was really interesting.
It was.
I thought
Specifically,
that was really
it
well
was-
done.
It was a very good
That-
choice.
yeah.
Happened right
Dark-
after the Cyclops killed Polites.
Darkness won.
But yeah, our dear sweet Polites is dead, and now the Cyclops is murdering
Polly
everyone.
cheese is gone.
Polly Cheese is gone.
Moldy and done.
Because no one that's that pure can ever survive in any kind of dark story like that. I think that much we've learned.
It's dark. So
Oh, also Cyclops. This instrument for the Cyclops.
mm,
I don't know instruments or music that well, so I don't know the name of the instrument, but it's some kind of deep, haunting string instrument. I couldn't identify it. but it's a.
I wish I could hear it again.
I know.
Um,
It almost like a. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
one of those
cello
big
or something.
cellos,
Is
like
it a cello maybe or
ooh,
bass?
something like that. Yeah.
Dropping the bass and beat. Yes, it might have been. We're gonna move on to the next
Yeah.
song. In this is the last in this. No,
No,
it
it's
the-
not.
Oh, there's one more. Okay.
Yeah.
In this saga, remember them.
Now, this one's by Wolfie
Oh.
the Witch. You didn't care as much for this animation, right?
It sucked.
It
It went back to like the original sucky stuff. And the Cyclops in this had no imagination to it.
it was very, very literal
Re-
Cyclops. Yeah.
rudimentary, boring,
That-
basic,
We.
weak,
we-
played out,
Oh God.
too literal.
Yeah.
It was literal. They took it way too literally. There was no imagination infused into this one. It was really hard to even enjoy the music because
I actually
just
really. I
didn't.
enjoyed this song because it gets back to kind of like
I'm
the
sorry,
first song in the
guys.
saga.
I'm being truthful and honest
I know.
of how I feel, and I have to tell the truth. I can't just lie.
Yeah, sure you can. Odysseus does it all the time.
I'm not Odysseus.
Well, clearly. No, but we return to more of a gritty rage anthem.
Mhm.
You could tell the rage is there because the guitar.
I just think the animation could have
Okay.
portrayed that so
Enough-
much better.
Enough about the animation.
No,
No.
but because of that,
I know.
feel like this needed something strong
gritty,
to it.
yeah.
Something really just
No, but
Mm.
you know how you can tell that there's a hidden rage there is the
not the animation.
no. You're not gonna let that go, are you?
I just expected more from
Okay.
this. You know, when you want
Uh,
something to be
Anyway,
better.
let me get to the point. No, throughout this, the guitar that represents Odysseus has been mostly like an acoustic, something lighter.
Yeah,
Here we get a heavy electric
we
guitar.
did. Yes.
Remember
And
them when the fire begins to fade. For the fallen and afraid, we are not to let them die in vain. Remember them, we're the ones who carry on the flames of those who've gone, and our comrades will not die in vain. I need all our hands on this club. This is how we're getting out of here. Use your swords to sharpen a stub and turn it to a giant
That
spear.
really kind of drives
And did
forward
the animation
the
get better?
vibe. Oh
no,
my God.
it did not.
Drives forward the vibe of this bubbling rage deep down.
Yeah.
And you can tell by the way he sings it, everything, it's
Mm-hmm.
just powerful. Also, we get our first throwback to previous songs, which in this musical, constantly throughout this musical, we get almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? Reprisals?
Is that what you're trying to say?
Like a throwback to previous
Yeah,
songs.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's a throwback to the songs.
Like they'll
It's
bring a certain instrumental or
Mhm.
certain vocals from previous songs into
right,
the
right,
new
right,
one.
right.
So we get a throwback to Full
Yes,
Speed
maybe it's
Ahead and
reprisals.
Warrior of the Mind.
Hmm.
Yes, this is when it all starts to kind of intermingle.
Right.
Next, final one of this saga, My Goodbye,
My goodbye.
also by Wolfie the Witch.
Same. Look at what I put down.
Oh.
I put down a face that kind of looks like this
Well, I think we know what you feel
for the
about
animation. Sorry.
Yeah.
The vocals were really good. It
Look,
was very
the com-
impressive.
Yes, the competing vocals between
Again,
Athena and
It
Odysseus.
was very good.
Wow.
Again, why?
This way, you get what you wanted. This way, you can save your time. This way, you close the door and have your damn goodbye. You're not looking for a mentor. I'm not looking for a friend. I mistook you for a general. What a waste of effort spent. At least I know what I'm fighting for while you're fighting to be known. Since you claim you're so much wiser, why's your life spent all alone? You're alone.
The animation was so literal.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, not
It
only
wasn't
were
that
the singers competing vocally, but the piano and the guitar that represent them were going back and
This
forth.
is what I just saw. This is what I saw on screen. It's like two heads just talking back and forth.
pretty much.
But it was
yeah.
basic animation, and it just.
Mhm.
Mhm. I would
Also-
have just rather listen to the music.
Right. Also,
Mhm.
Athena summons a choir to taunt him, referring to him as just a man. Another throwback to the second song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choir appeared kind of.
Mhm.
It was kind of.
Next
The
up,
choir
we
should have
have
been better.
the Ocean Saga.
This is the next saga. I think we're gonna
Yes.
break this into two parts.
We're probably gonna have to.
I
I'm
think
realizing,
we should definitely do this next
Well-
saga. We'll see what we get through,
Yeah.
and we're gonna definitely break this into a two-parter because
Right.
this is a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know how much we'd be able to get through,
Oh,
but
no,
it
yeah.
takes longer to go into each one than I'd.
Yeah,
hoped.
so this will be part one of the epic.
We
But
can
yes,
we
the
can
Ocean
reach
Saga.
up to Act 1, which is the end of the
Okay,
Underworld Saga.
Ocean Saga is the next saga.
Yes. This animation is done by Zemena
What did you just say?
Zemena Notzel.
What is a
Notzel?
Nazi? What the hell?
Natzl.
Nutzel.
Zemena Notzel. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. So we start off with the song Storm. Now, this one is almost like a
Yes.
companion to Full Speed Ahead. Kind of
Oh,
going
okay.
back to that epic choir, almost like, not sea
Mhm.
shanty, but similar
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, it was well, Ocean Saga, so sea shanty
Yeah.
makes sense. And I found it interesting that in this song they used a lot of purple tones
Mhm.
into
To represent the darkness of the storm.
the darkness and the storm being exactly.
These waves and tides have grown in strength and size. Is it nature or divine or a blessing in disguise? Our homes inside, this storm's our final fight. There's no time to die. Comrades, brace for a storm. The likes of which we've never seen before.
So the animation in this, it was more interesting to me. The animation was very moody. So and it started out. This song started out as kind of like a basic show tune kind of sound, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you agree?
Yeah. I would say
And so yeah, the animation is moody. It got a point across. The shadow effects were very interesting in this.
Yes.
There's like a lot of shadows, and I don't know. It really gave it a tone when I was watching it. So as it goes on, the music starts to swell in intensity,
just like the waves, like you could see
and
the music
disappeared
swell
with the
it.
island in the sky.
Yes, the
Yes.
island in the sky. Suddenly the music shifts from a dark, heavy tone to light woodwinds.
But then I got disappointed more in the animation as it went on. It was like a one-note animation. It had potential though. It did have potential. It's better than some of the others that I saw before.
I would agree.
Yeah.
This was actually, we haven't been saying what the most popular is and what your favorites are.
Yeah, you wanna-
I was going to say
Oh,
Storm. This song is actually one of the least popular of, I would say, the entire musical.
Really?
Yeah, that doesn't get a lot of attention. It only had like one or
Okay.
two animators.
I mean, it
and
was
It's let's just say
yeah.
it's kind of overlooked a lot.
okay.
This song.
Yeah, and I didn't really go through and decide what my favorite song was in each saga, but I will tell you later on I wrote down what stood out of the whole thing
Right.
for me. There was a couple, 2 or 3. Yeah, so there was that one, and then not much else to say that.
Yeah,
about that,
that's
right?
pretty much it for
So
that.
the next one is
Luck Runs Out.
Luck Runs Out.
This one's by animation by Crashite. And
what I put down. It just feels like these animators are just drawing off each other at this point. It just like come
well, they're getting
on.
inspiration from each other.
Yeah, and it was getting a little stale. I'm like, show me something different.
Well, you
That's
know
how I
why?
felt.
Also,
I got
'cause
bored. I started to get bored. I'm sorry, I did.
partially it's
It
because
just didn't live up to my imagination.
partially it's because Jay Jorge goes by Jay.
Yeah.
He has the canon things that are happening. So sometimes the animators will look at like, okay, this is what Jay is showing is happening. So we're going to animate to those specifications. And then
Oh.
sometimes they'll look at other animators and get inspiration from that and say, oh, I want to connect to that animator's work. So I'll do it like that.
I saw that for sure.
Yeah.
I just got a little bored at this point, and I was like wanting something.
It
more
really
to happen. It
gets better, I
it
promise.
does. It does change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. It changes for sure.
And in this one we get Odie, little Odie.
You call him Oda. What do I call him? Odis.
Well, people in the
Odis.
musical call him Odie too. That's like his nickname.
Odis.
It's
I like
cute.
Odis too.
Odie and Eurylochus. We have the competing vocals there,
Mhm.
male on male competing vocals,
Mhm.
which is actually pretty good.
Faith friend, we've come this far.
Yes, but how much longer till your luck runs out? How much longer till the show goes south? How much longer till we all fall down? You rely on wit and people die on it. Whoa.
I still believe in goodness. I still believe that we could be kind. Lead from the heart and see what starts.
And what will we do when it tears us apart?
You could tell that when Odysseus is singing, he's getting inspiration from Polites and the way he's talking to Eurylochus. He's like, look at how much how far we've come. You know, like I've gotten you all here alive. Don't you trust me? We just need to be merciful and you know, he's coming in a very like optimistic point of view at this time. And then of course Eurylochus is much more clinical, very analytical. Like, look, bro, this is
Like the animation
Y-
in some of these, not all of them. Some are really good.
I wrote down this
Actually.
is a head bopper. I like this song.
Just as hit.
Yep.
Just the hit.
Next song is
Okay.
Keep Your Friends Close.
Keep your friends close.
This one is
Oh, here comes the blue and the purple
Yes.
tones. The blue and purple tones throughout.
animation by Gigi. At this
Gigi.
point, by this point,
She
she
got
has
better.
grown. She is. I keep
Mhm.
saying she. I don't know if it's an actual she. Sorry.
Probably is.
I
don't
could.
know.
Who knows?
Mm.
But yeah,
Um,
grown so much. The animation is night and day compared to the first animation.
So yeah, it was very whimsical.
very whimsical.
I would say this was a whimsical sound.
dreamy.
more so than the
A lot of
others.
woodwinds,
I
angelic
really
choir.
liked it. I liked the beat.
Yeah.
I
And that's
just
the
thought it was a
thing.
good song. I really thought it was a good
Yes,
song.
And the
Mhm.
song shifts like 3 or 4 times throughout the song. Like there's
Mhm.
big shifts in the music because
right,
we start
and
out.
that's what I like. I like
Yeah.
the dynamic.
It's like telling a
vocals and the-
story in the song. You know,
Mhm.
like the way it shifts. Because
So it started out in blue tones,
Mhm.
more cheerful, and
Right.
then evolved into the purple tones when the music softens. You
Yeah.
notice it went into purple tones.
hmm
And then when it grows in intensity, it went to darker blue shades. So
Yes.
it was definitely an interpretation. The animation started to interpret the song more. I
Mhm.
felt
Oh yeah.
like they were syncing up more to the song.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Never really know who you can trust.
Now they wanna get the bag open so they can have closure.
Sometimes thinking is a must.
'Cause the end always justifies the means.
Everything's changed since Polites, so
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
never really know who you can trust.
Yeah,
I know.
and then you start out with like the light woodwinds. Then when you were introduced to the wind god, oh shit, what was her name? Aeolus.
Elvis? Is that what
A-
you say? Elvis. Like a
Aelvis.
southern
No.
accent. Elvis.
Oh, if that wind god sounded like Elvis, I would have died. No, Aeolus. Also sounds like some sort of disease or
Elvis.
Or-
Elvis in your pelvis.
maybe a sexual organ.
And your pelvis.
No, but we switch from like dreamy and whimsical to almost like a hip hop beat, then to like this epic choir. Then it just keeps shifting, and I keep reiterating that point, but that's just how much I was impressed by that song, you know.
Mm.
And reprisal of Full Speed Ahead and Storm, and
okay.
and
yeah,
I,
well, the animation kind of reminded me of the tones
Yeah,
and stuff.
and I
for
cried.
sure.
because this one
I
song
didn't
always makes me
cry.
cry when
I
he's
didn't
like
cry. I'm
imagining being with his wife and son,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
then his crew open the windbag and fuck everything up.
I didn't cry. Okay,
Okay.
that's good.
Uh,
Okay.
next,
Emotion. Emotion.
yeah. Next song. This is one of
Gruesome.
this is
Ruthless.
definitely the most popular song in the
I
saga.
like this song.
This
This
is
was the best
also-
one so far. So
yes.
far in the whole thing I've seen at this point, this was the best song.
and also
Ruthlessness.
yes, ruthlessness.
Ruthlessness.
Really, really digging into one of the themes of the entire musical.
Yeah.
Also, this is
Ruthlessness,
one of
yeah.
the most popular songs in the entire musical.
It's one of the better songs, and
Mm-hmm.
I was one of my at this point I was like, yeah, this song, the song and the animation. Now I'm like, finally, it's coming together.
Animation
really
by Gigi
was.
again.
Blue tones. It was much more creative, and
Yeah.
it was a very forceful song.
Like the singer of Poseidon, who's the main singer of this song, he's a rocker, like a rock singer. You can hear it in his voice when he's voicing Poseidon. He sounds like that gravelly, gritty,
Yeah,
like
yeah, he did.
you know that.
You heard the son of mine. That's right. The Cyclops you made blind is mine. No. I'm left without a choice and without a doubt. Yes, the battle wolves are swimming with the shark now. I gotta make you bleed. I need to see you drown. But before you go, I need to make you learn how ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves.
The animation was starting to actually tell the story. I felt like it was yeah. It made you want to watch. It was before I just want to listen to this. I don't like the animation. But yeah, this one now was much more dynamic.
Yeah.
And then I noticed when the music started to grow in intensity, it would just turn to a red. Everything was turning red, and I really liked that. I really liked what they did there.
Yeah, I mean, this song was a total powerhouse rock anthem, basically, and
Yeah,
it goes so
definitely one of the
hard.
better ones. I feel.
And you get the themes of ruthlessness and both like being a monster. At what point do you become a monster? You know.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right this
Right
second.
this second.
Right this
I am a
second. This
monster
is my
now.
monster juice right here.
Your monster energy.
Don't drink that, guys. I got my own monster energy
Oh, God.
internally.
Yeah, this is one of the songs that everyone looks to when I think of this musical. It's like,
Yeah.
Now we have the next saga, the Circe saga,
Seriously.
and maybe we should end on this
Is
saga
this
instead.
the
This is
halfway mark?
actually
Mark?
the following saga would be the halfway mark, but I think we should end it on
boy.
the Circe,
Should we?
or we could go to
How
the
long is
Underworld.
Circe?
It's,
Oh, we could do. Okay.
okay. Yeah,
we
maybe
should-
maybe we
maybe-
can end. Well, like do the Circe saga and then end.
Okay,
it.
we're gonna do this Circe. Are you guys excited? Or are you like, damn it, get it over with already? Okay, we're gonna do Circe. Here we go.
So
The first song,
first song is Puppeteer, animation by
Puppeteer.
Gigi again.
Gigi.
Now in this one we arrive on an island, mysterious island. We have these light instrumentals that start to turn dark, moody. That turns into hip hop. That turns into beach
There was
house.
like
It just
it
shifts.
was, and there was a lot of pink tones. It had this softer sound. It was like very hip hop.
Yeah, this whole
Yeah.
saga is almost this whole
It had a
saga is
good
pink.
beat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
you're-
did have a
yeah,
good beat.
and that, maybe it's because it's Circe that represented by pink.
Yeah, Circe, for anyone that doesn't know, a witch that turns men into pigs, very seductive, very like.
The sorcery. Was
Yeah,
really
sorcerer.
interesting in this, and
Mhm.
you definitely felt like everything shifted into her world.
Yes, that
You
like
felt
you
like
could
you
tell
were in her world.
that was the
It-
main
yeah.
the main point of
Ow.
that the animators was like they were trying to make you feel like they have no power there because this is her land, you know, and they did a great job of that.
It was
Also,
good.
Circe's singer, fucking amazing.
Oh, you said the
Oh my god! Oh no! What am I gonna do? I'm a monster.
You're gonna have to take one of these Greek medications to cure you of
I'm gonna have to
your
take Eurylochus.
dirty bad mouth. Eurylochus. It also sounds like it could be a spell. Eurylochus.
It does. Oh, God.
Where's my wand?
Yeah, the singer for Circe, beautiful vocals. She has a like an English accent kind of, but it's very beautiful, very pretty. But it can also be very powerful when it needs to be. It's amazing. Also, singer of Circe is and Jay, you know, Odysseus are together in real life.
Gossip.
Yeah,
Gossip. It comes with tea.
it does.
Or spilling the
Uh,
tea.
Let's see anything. Oh, Circe's instrument is the violin.
Yeah.
the dueling
that makes
vocals.
sense to me. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Mhm.
Dueling vocals in this song are amazing. Also, we're starting to notice certain animators have style, a certain
Yeah,
style.
Definitely.
Gigi does this thing where they have this rotating perspective.
Yeah.
Hear her still,
No one will find
and her voice deceives.
their way between
What if she can't be killed?
my nymphs and I.
that happens in almost every
It
one of the
spins,
animations.
it
Yeah.
spins. Yes.
All right. Next
Next
song. Wouldn't you like?
Wouldn't you? But that's like.
Wouldn't you like?
Dun, 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 dun. Would it be? Oh, would it be nice? Would it be nice? That's what it
I don't
reminds
know.
me of. But
Animator is Zemena Natzel.
okay, so I noticed something about this song. I'm just gonna say this song was just out of it. It just felt like it was
It
didn't
match,
belong.
right?
It
Yeah.
didn't match the
Now,
rest of it, the
I-
tone of everything else.
I will say the song was an
it
absolute
was very like
banger.
boy band feeling.
It was.
Poppy and boy bandy.
We're
I wasn't
also-
really.
A fan of it. I liked it, but it's very
the
poppy.
colors were pretty. That was it. I said that's it. That's it. The
Yeah.
colors were pretty. That's it.
Oh, Hermes' instrument is a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Hermes, that's who I am.
Hermes.
Very
Hermes sounds a lot like herpes, but
Yeah, it does. Hermes as a character and in the animation and the song in every way is very fun, goofy, and also
Yes.
slightly homoerotic.
Wouldn't you like a taste of the power? Wouldn't you like to use more than words? Deep in the night, the fight lasts for hours. You can be hurt or you can beat her. Wouldn't you like to have some of the magic? Wouldn't you like your outcome preferred? Deep in the night, the fight can be tragic. I'll help you conquer her. She can turn you to an animal that'll end up on her plate. She can all but make you fall in love like you're on your 100th date.
Man, was
Yeah.
Hermes kind of like
well, that's the
toying and flirting with
Greek.
Odysseus. Also, fun fact, Hermes is Odysseus's great-grandfather, so that's a little weird.
incestual
Yeah.
Greekness.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay. When in Rome, I guess.
also,
Or
I liked
Greece.
how in this animation it displayed a god's power over a mortal. Like Hermes was just kind of flinging him around.
Yeah.
You know, had complete control over him.
Right.
Yeah. Next
Yeah.
song, Done For.
Done for.
This animation's by Annie Flama, and we get
Yeah. So they start out in like black and white.
Yeah.
Right. Which I noticed some of them do that. They start out kind of like in the black and white tones, you know, until something comes to life. I like the song actually. I did. I like this song.
It is a good song. You get again those male and female dueling vocals with Odysseus and Circe.
At this point, I came to a conclusion. This whole theme of the saga was man versus woman.
It really was actually. Yeah.
The sex battle of the sexes. That's
Mhm.
what this whole saga was about.
Yes.
And the theme was fear women. Fear women.
Or at least at this point in the saga. Later
Yeah.
on, it's not.
Felt
as
like
much,
that
but,
at this point. Felt like that at
this point.
yeah.
Yes. And we of course get the dueling guitar and violin along with
Yeah.
their vocals.
Mm-hmm.
They both summon. A little background: Odysseus gets a magic plant from Hermes that lets him summon a monster to
Yeah.
fight for him, and she could do the same because she's a sorceress. He summons a Cyclops, which I was like, "Huh, interesting choice."
You and I are now evenly matched. Our fates are intertwined, they're attached. I've got people to protect, friends I can't neglect. So now there is no turning back. You've made your one wrong move, now you're done for. I will be the one to prove that you're done for. Not even a spell saves you, cause you're done for. Oh, you better run, or soon you will be done for.
You summon a Cyclops.
Would you summon a Cyclops?
If I just blinded one, I feel like that wouldn't be my first go-to, but maybe that's
What
why
would
I'm
you
not
summon?
Odysseus. I would summon Keanu Reeves because he's a magical being and
I would
he
summon
knows
a
gun
giant
fu.
black cat.
Well, can't imagine why. But yeah, I don't really need to say much else. It was amazing song, very like.
It was a really
powerful
good song.
competing vocals,
I
yeah.
agree. I agree with that.
And the last song of this saga and of this episode,
This part one.
yes, part one, is There Are Other Ways.
There are other ways.
There are other ways.
We've noticed.
Animation by Gigi. This is where we
Yes.
get into the more seductive side of
That's what I
Circe.
said. I put that
I'm
down.
just- I stole
What
your
the heck
thunder.
is going on?
Flirtatious
Very
vibes, yeah.
whimsical beginning actually, and it turned in first whimsical and it turned into something very seductive and romantic
Yes.
tone. It was a romantic, seductive tone.
Show me that you're willing to burn.
Who's to say with the mistakes I've made
Don't be
that they will be the
Think
last
of your
mistakes I
past.
ever made?
Don't break when there is so much power,
So much power, but there's no puppet here.
This is the price
I'm
we pay
just
love.
a man.
There is no line,
I'm
never
just
enough. So much power, but there's no puppet here.
We get the
And-
return of Just a Man theme,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
because
very pretty music.
it is beautiful music. It's
I
very
really like the animation. in this,
yes.
which
Gigi brings it,
yes,
man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
The vocals top notch. It was good. Overall, it was good.
Yeah.
I feel.
Also, the
Yeah.
the fact that here's Circe
Tormented?
trying to seduce
He wa- he
Odysseus,
was-
and
he
they're
was-
together
he was
in real life.
tormented.
Yeah. Oh, he was tormented.
He was
yeah.
tormented.
He was torn. He's like being seduced by her, and he's like, "I'm just a man."
I'm just a
Why do I
man,
sound
a
like-
simple old man.
Why do I sound like a Seinfeld character? I'm just a man.
I
I'm
did to
confused."
turn from country music to some Woody Allen kind of thing.
Oh God. Also, when he refuses Circe, we have a certain theme that plays, and I found out this is the theme of Penelope, his wife.
Mhm.
Whenever he's thinking about Penelope, a certain musical, I don't know music terms, but like a musical progression happens or tone, and
Yeah.
it's just really pretty and cute. I love that.
You loved it.
Cool transition in the music and animation when she talks about the underworld too. The
Yeah.
tone
Oh
shifts,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
shifts,
It did.
everything.
It did.
Like
No, I really like this. I feel like at this point I remember thinking, it's starting to get better. It's really starting to improve and I'm starting to get more into it. In the beginning it was really hard for me to I don't know. I kept thinking, "Oh god, I hope I'm going to have to go through this entire thing."
Yeah.
And I wasn't feeling it. At this point I was like, "Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it
Yeah.
next." For
right.
sure.
The improvement is the best part about it, I think.
Yeah,
And-
improvement.
And
The best part.
also, this is a different take from the original Odyssey because I have to point this out. In the original Odyssey, Odysseus was a little bit of a playboy. He slept with Circe for a whole year,
Oh,
and
okay.
his men.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, whenever he met a woman, he was just
I
like,
mean,
"I'm
they're
gonna sleep
all
with
horny. Those Greek gods,
Oh,
they're all
that."
horny.
He's not even a god.
No, but they're all horny. The Greeks,
All the
are,
Greeks are
horny. They're all
but-
horny.
Yeah. His men in the original Odyssey had to convince him to leave the island because he wanted to stay with Circe.
Oh, really?
They had to convince him to go home to his wife. And I know it's
not as romantic though.
no. In this, he
Yeah.
basically in this interpretation of the Odyssey, they make him obsessed with his wife. Like
Yeah,
he
they
is
do.
head over heels. He has
Maybe
it
a
bad
little
for
too
her.
much. So.
Yeah, and he like whenever he thinks about her,
Like
he's
it's
like,
it's his
"Oh."
Achilles heel.
Yeah, his wife and son are his
Yeah, for
Achilles heel,
sure.
absolutely, and to the point where he would do just about anything, even killing an infant for them.
Can you imagine? It's
Yeah.
not, nobody's worth that, right?
Well-
Oh, that evil laugh.
I don't know. Our little girls over there.
They're cats, by the way. They're not actual.
Yeah,
Yeah,
children.
but
Our
would you
our
kill?
feline.
Would you kill for Raven?
I might.
Maybe he already has. We don't know. Oh no.
But yeah, any final thoughts on that or?
Well, like I said, okay, I just kind of said what I thought. My final thoughts on so far is that okay, now I'm getting into it. I'm starting to see the progression and the stories are coming together. I'm starting to feel it more and didn't feel like it was torture.
Yeah.
Not that okay, it wasn't torture in the beginning. I was just like, God, there's so much more to go through, and I'm just, is this what it is? Is it just gonna be like this the whole time, the same thing over and over? And I felt like
Right.
it started to progress and get a lot better.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the thing is, we haven't even gotten to what I think are the best songs. Best
yeah. Oh yeah,
animations.
I agree.
My favorite song is actually coming up in the next saga.
Oh,
We haven't even gotten to that. So
actually, do you know whenever I have a star next to the songs,
it means it's your favorites?
it's some of my favorites.
Oh, that was okay. The two that you starred for the next saga
Yeah?
are some of my favorites in the entire
Oh.
musical.
Oh, okay. See there, I know what I'm talking about, guys.
Yeah, in fact,
I
that one right there, my favorite song in the
Yeah.
entire musical.
Okay. That might have been one of my favorites. Yeah. Oh yeah, I starred them.
Yeah.
I started them. I really liked it. Oh, although this one was one of the best. I mean,
Oh, that one was good. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
You can't know. You don't.
oh my
know
God,
until-
are we still here?
Yeah. I will say "There Are Other Ways" was one of the I think the most popular song of this saga.
Oh, there are other ways. Wait, of this saga.
The one that we
We just did.
the
Oh,
Circe saga.
okay. There are other ways.
Yeah.
That last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. That makes sense, I guess. All right. So that's part one, guys.
one.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Maybe we'll even have a part 2 next week. You
Yeah,
think
we
so?
could do that.
We're gonna do a
'cause-
part 2 next week since we're breaking up in 2 parts. And until then, guys, go watch. If you haven't seen this, go watch at least until
Yes.
or watch the whole thing. But go watch.
Highly
until
recommend.
what we're
You
talking
can
about
check it
here.
out specifically on YouTube.
Mhm.
There's amazing animatics that are all on YouTube. You can
Yeah.
also look it up on Spotify where just the music is.
Yeah.
But I'd recommend looking at with the.
And you
watching
can
it
either
with
watch the
animatics.
animation we talked about today. You could watch the others. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. See you later, guys.
All right, bye guys.